I just got off the phone with a gentleman who heard me on a podcast interview I did only a few days ago. And he basically sells high-end consulting, and he's struggling with converting clients and opportunities. And I said to him, "So what's your strategy? What are you doing to get in front of decision makers?" And he said he signed up about 6 months ago with another expert who he bought his program. And the program, and I'm seeing this as a trend, by the way. I'm seeing more and more of this model happening over in the last 6 months. It's fairly new, where basically he's he's told to go create his own podcast and then interview prospects or ideal clients for the podcast, and then interview them about them and their business. And then when the podcast is over, or after the podcast is over, a few days later, you reach out to them and say, "Hey, let's maybe do some business together." It's a bit of a backwards way of getting to know somebody. And I said, well, and he's had 25 interviews so far, and he's reached out to maybe 5 or 6 of them either afterwards or right afterwards it was over. And I said to him, "How many have converted to a client?" He says, "Maybe one." I said, "Well, how much of your time is this? And are you happy with this process?" He goes, "Well, no, it's taking a lot of my time. It's really kind of awkward to engage someone around their problems after I just talked about how great they're doing in the interview." And it does feel a little inauthentic because it's a bit of a bait and switch, I feel, because here I am interviewing them for my podcast, but then I'm trying to really get their business. It has some layers of inauthenticity in that. And I said, look, I think that strategy can work for some people, and it is working for some people. Uh, it's just difficult to forecast that. It's unsystematic, and you're starting in a roundabout way going in the back door. Why don't you just have a linear process where you target your ideal client around their problem? They move from there into a one-on-one consultation with you. You diagnose their issue like a doctor to a patient, and you onboard them from there. I told him this, and he just had a lightning bolt shoot through him, and he said, "Let's talk about that." So I wanted to just mention, I think the model can work for lots of people, but if you're finding yourself in that situation right now where you're trying to go around the block to get the ideal client, ask yourself if it's the most efficient model for you.